Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Buffy Toxic Retro. We're doing episodes 6 and 7 today, Band Candy and Revelations. And for everyone that's in the know, Revelations is going to be a significant episode, as all Buffy episode 7s are. Without further ado, I will start to bring in my panel of illustrious Buffyverse critiques, and it looks like no, that's not accurate. Northern, Northern is telling me 16 times he's been knocked out. I'm understanding that up to where we're at right now, it's 11 Giles knockout counter. Where are you getting 16 to 18?
All together, sorry about that. I was looking it up, and apparently it's all together he's been knocked out 18 times. But up to now, yeah, it must be 11 then, like you said.
Okay. Other than getting shit wrong right at the start of the video, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Just fucking trying to sort everything out a little bit. Got a nice little bit of a 20-minute power nap, and yeah, should be good to go.
Nice. Critter, sir, how are you, my actual Giles knockout counter person? How are you today?
I'm fine. God, that guy, all the head wounds, he should be dead.
Yeah. Speaking of wounds, how is your toe with Northern stepping on it a little bit to try to tell you how to do your job?
Okay? I'm fine. I'll be pleasant and keep my mouth shut and let him think that, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Denial, ignorance is bliss, my friend. Ignorance is bliss.
Susan is back. So we lost Toonie Boy, but we've got Susan back. Susan, how are you? Been practicing your English since last we talked to you?
No, not really. Out of
yeah, clearly not. Clearly not.
You get better, believe me. I did.
Yeah, you gotta keep practicing after a while. Do enough of these streams and enough of me taking the piss out of you, and you'll invariably get better. So just right off the rip, can I assume that everybody has watched both of these episodes and watched them fairly recently and knows what? Yeah, okay. Are you guys familiar with the episode 7 rule with Buffy the Vampire Slayer? It doesn't really extend itself to Angel or Firefly, but it is pretty prominent throughout the entire series of Buffy. Are you guys familiar with that rule?
Like every 7th episode is a big reveal or something?
Well, it is that as well. It is that
game changer.
It is a game changer. Yeah, both of those things are true. But the main thing is it kind of caveat on what Ian from Passion and the Nerd says, kind of sweeps away the debris of the beginning of whatever the season is from the previous stuff. And it sort of is kind of a launch pad for whatever the season thesis is for the remainder of that particular season. So season 7s tend to be pretty significant. So like season 1 was Angel was a season 7 episode. Season 2 was Lie to Me, of course, where Buffy learns all about how like choice is the main thing that you have to worry about. This one is Revelations. Season 4, episode 7, I'm wanting to say might be Hush, but that might not be right. I'm not sure on that one. Get back to me on the season 4. 4 is a weird, wacky season. Season 5 is, of course, Fool for Love. That's my favorite of all the season 7s and so on. But, we'll get to all those. But yeah, so one of these 2 episodes we're going to do is that one's a Candy episode, not only in name, but in, its entire mission statement. It's a Candy episode. It's a funny episode. I mean, some significant stuff happens, but for the most part, it's just a super fun time. It's a Jane Espenson episode. I think it's the first one that she heralded, and you can really, her writing is so good. I'm sure Josh jumped in there and helped her out a little bit, but man, her stuff is so freaking on point. It's crazy. So, without a further ado, let's get into this son of a bitch. So we start out, and Buffy and Giles are in the cemetery. This is funny to me because some people say this is like a reveal that they're not studying demonology or whatever, and they're prepping for the SATs, but clearly it's an SAT question he's asking. By the way, the answer is all things tends towards entropy. That's going to be important later, so don't forget it. Buffy, of course, being the usual millennial kid, she's like, it's got to be B because we haven't had B in forever. And that's Giles just kind of chastises her a little bit. It's not a a fill in the blank multiple choice. You have to kind of know what you're asking for with that. And luckily they get interrupted a little bit, and a vampire that I assume they were waiting on comes out of nowhere. Buffy does some cool acrobatics, and then in a very cool scene decides to dust the guy with a pencil right out of nowhere. Now, whether or not she did that on purpose or not, to show off a little bit, or because she figured if she got rid of her pencil, they wouldn't have any more time to, jam for the SATs. I don't really know, but the fact that she was able to take a pencil and kill the vampire with it is pretty cool.
John Wick was
Three men in
definitely
the bar.
A pencil. I know, I've heard the story, sir.
Fucking pencil!
watching.
Who the fuck can do that? Well, I can assure you that the stories you hear about these men, if nothing else, has been watered.
Yeah, so it's basically Buffy and John Wick are known for this. So I think that's pretty cool. Although Willow does get to a jump in there a little bit later. But yeah, pretty cool scene. Buffy dusts the guy. And of course, Giles, being the jerk that he is, has another pencil waiting just to give her. And, I'm not sure I would have handed her a pencil with this look she's got in her face right here. Right now. I'd have been like, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's get a coffee. It's okay. Switches from that scene. Meanwhile, in the mayor's office, we have the big bad talking to his sub big bad, Mr. Trick, and saying that they have a big demon that they have to appease and give some sort of offering to, some sort of tribute. And Mr. Trick is going to subcontract it out to somebody else. Remember that, because it's going to be important later. The next day at school, everyone's kind of freaking out about the SATs in one way or another, except for Cordelia, who tells everybody that she tends to do well on standardized tests. I don't know if that's surprising or not. I kind of feel like, yeah, that kind of suits her mentality, that she would have done that. They run into Snyder. Snyder has a bunch of chocolate. They're thinking at first that it's some sort of hey, get ready for the SATs, here's some chocolate, but instead, of course, it's chocolate bars they have to sell for the band. And again, the dialogue is just like crackling. They have a great thing where Principal Snyder says, you'll sell it, raise money for the marching band, they need new uniforms. And Xander says, yeah, those tall fuzzy hats ain't cheap, huh? Oz, right on cue. Yeah, but they go with everything. This dialogue in this episode is unmatched. It's so fucking good. And we get a cute little Joyce episode, or Joyce moment here, where her and Buffy are having dinner. They're eating Chinese food in the kitchen. That's kind of cool. I like it. And it looks a little early, but whatever. It's California. I don't fucking know. And she says, what am I gonna do with 20 chocolate bars? And she's like, you're not even in the band. And Buffy says, and yet. I thought this was interesting. This is a colloquialism that didn't quite catch on. It's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. Fetch is not going to happen. But I have used the and yet thing through most of my life. In fact, there's a few phrases in these two episodes that I still have in my vernacular today. And I like the fact that, Buffy does that to her, kind of being a little smartass. So, of course, she's going to take 20 chocolate bars. And then she asks if she can take the driver's test again and borrow the car. And Joyce gives her back the and yet, which I thought was pretty cute. What are you guys thinking of this episode so far? Pretty cool. Did you guys know it was a candy episode? No pun intended. At this point, or were you still like waiting for like some big disaster to happen? Starting with you, Susan. Ladies first. You haven't been here in a while.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I knew it was a candy chocolate episode, but I was a bit unsure, I think, about the band, but apart from that, I got the chocolate thing. I know I didn't realise how the chocolate was going to be bad, if that's what you mean. Yeah.
Do you guys over it? See, this is a big thing in America, more like middle school, like junior high school. But I guess they do it in high school too, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's been so fucking long because I'm old. But over in the UK, do you guys have like fundraisers where they give you these cheap ass candy bars to go sell like door to door to raise money for stuff, and they expect the whole school to kind of participate in it? Is that a thing over in the UK?
It didn't used to be, no. They do it. They have I remember it was like the Girl Scouts or something. I think you used to call them, and I think they would give them out to like kids like that and do it. But they didn't really do that here. I don't
Northern,
know about England, but in Scotland, no.
Northern, you still with us, buddy?
Nope, he ducked out.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's on his way back.
Oh, okay. My
But
bad.
he's not here right now to answer the chocolate bar question.
BRB. Well, Critter, back in the 50s.
Holy crap! Yes, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, between Catholic middle school and grammar school and even high school. Yes, these brown boxes were handed out. Inside the box were a bunch of horrible chocolate bars, whether with nuts or without. And then as I got older, all my friends who had kids, all of a sudden I'm buying bars from them for their kids for band camp or a new wing.
You know, I never see kids doing that anymore. I see it more like
parents do it for the kids.
Yeah, now I see it in the fucking store and shit like that. So Northern is back. Northern, in your primary school or high school or anything like that, in your schooling, did they give you guys candy bars you had to sell for like fundraising? Was that a thing in your area?
Well, yeah, but it was mostly laced with heroin, you know. In fact, I don't think it was candy bars. I think it was heroin.
Yeah.
The rough part of town.
Yeah, I bet
honestly, I never indulged in that stuff. There probably was a few students around the school, but most was we were all over the place. Our school was just out of control, to be honest. I'm actually agreeing with the older people. They should bring back caning.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess over in the UK now, you guys could sell like Qurans and bean pies and stuff like that. It's all your Muslim.
Oh yeah, everything machetes, you know, homemade explosives, that kind of thing. You know,
yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so a cute little exchange, and you know the main thing is, the crux of it is that Joyce, I mean, on the one hand, because Buffy's a bad driver. I mean, that gets established pretty quickly. There's like three main things that Buffy's really, four. One, she's obviously a bad driver. That gets established here, and it gets carried on for quite some time, actually. Very seldom do you see Buffy driving. She's almost always a passenger princess. It's funny, now that I've said it, you won't be able to unsee it. Like, Buffy very seldom ever drives anything. She's almost always the passenger princess. You'd be hard pressed, except for this episode. I don't think there is very many times. She's bad with firearms. That's like well known. She's not good at undercover, and she's extremely susceptible to distractionary tactics. So for all her good qualities and you know how great she is as a slayer, she does have those kind of like four main hindrances. But you know, hey, listen.
And her choice in men.
Well,
sorry.
No, I mean, no. I mean, I guess you could say that, but I mean, she's a woman. All women have horrible taste in men. So, I mean, that's like a given. I mean, she might be a slayer, but she's still a female. And women, women just.
My wife would be very honest about that. Why do you think she married me?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, but it's also the underlying thing that Joyce is worried that like Buffy will get it in her head and go take off. So that's the thing. She's feeling Buffy slip away, so she's trying to tighten her grip a little bit. And and not for no bad reason either, because Buffy tells her Porky Pies about going to have to go work and study with Giles, study for the SATs and apparently Slayer preparation, which is it's one of those half lies, half truths. Totally not using Giles as my alibi to see Angel. Bye. She goes to see Giles, and Giles, another good dialogue again. He puts a blindfold on her and wants her to hit him with the dodgeball. Because apparently if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. At least that's what I'm told. And I like Buffy's line, you ran out of training ideas 2 weeks ago, and you're just embarrassed to say. And I like the fact that Giles is like so happy that she's getting it wrong, and she manages to bank the shot and still nail Giles with her Slayer reflexes and second sight, or whatever you want to call it. And then she takes off and blames it on the mom. So, basically playing Giles and Joyce off against each other so she can go hang out with sexy Tai Chi shirtless Angel, who, despite the fact that she walks in on him, decides he's just going to chill out on the couch with his fucking shirt off like a freaking weirdo. God, what are you doing, man? And Buffy, dude, man, for everything that we know, Buffy really is leaning into this, smell me, no garbage, meh, and then makes a point to lie to him about Scott still being in the picture and forgetting the fact that I don't know what you guys think, but a thought occurred to me on this rewatch. Angel knows she's not seeing Scott anymore because he doesn't smell Scott on her. Did you guys realize that?
No.
I didn't catch that. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm far superior to the rest of you, so I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah. So I think he was like trying not to push her as well as like, okay, I'm not gonna push this any further.
yeah, I'm not gonna embarrass you because you're bringing me blood. Yeah, and here. And plus, I banged you and then called you a hooker and killed one of your teachers and a bunch of your friends and stuff like that. So,
She sent him to hell when he was cured. I'd be a little pissed.
listen, what relationship is perfect? Am I right?
He's biting his tongue and being pleasant.
So Buffy comes home. I can honestly say I have never been caught like this by my parents. Not that my parents would have given a shit what I did anyways, but I have never been caught this flat-footed by any parental guidance figures. But it's a great scene where, she already starts her lie as she walks in the door, and then Giles comes around the corner like, what, bitch? Like, Buffy's face is fucking priceless here. Did you guys already kind of have an idea what was going on at this point? Like that there was like some malarkey with the candy happening, or were you guys still kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop?
I was still out of it.
Really?
I didn't catch on just quite yet.
Oh, Susan, what about you?
Yeah, I know by now, yeah. It's just the way they were standing eating the bars of chocolate all the time and passing it to each other.
All right, I will work on getting some subtitles for Susan at some point for the audience. I think she said that she didn't know, or she said she did.
I did because they were passing the chocolate to each other. Quite often.
There you go. There you go. That's much better. That's much better. Good job, Susan. Northern, what about you, buddy? Did you have an idea something was hinky with the chocolate thing with them fucking like slamming that shit down so much?
Yeah, it's as soon as the music hits in, it's like, yeah, something's up with the chocolates. There is.
I've always really liked how Anthony Stewart Head, who plays Giles, I love the slow what's the word I'm looking for? Degradation, or the slow descent into his Ripper persona. Like he starts a little bit like he's just kind of saying things that he ordinarily wouldn't. And I love the fact that Buffy keys in on it. He's like, all right, let's not freak out. And then Buffy's like, freak out? What? You don't say things like that. Like, what are you talking about?
Just little hints, isn't it? They just give you little tiny hints before revealing what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, they're really fucking shoveling the goddamn chocolate in their mouth, man. Holy crap. It is a lot. But basically, they don't like being used as Buffy's excuse, and why would they? And tell her, hey, listen, we're your parental figures. I'm not your real dad, obviously, but we're your parental figures, and you can't be using us to go do whatever it is they're doing. I thought it was interesting they didn't pursue, like, what are you actually doing? Like, what is actually happening when you're out? Like, they didn't really pursue that very hard. I thought that was pretty interesting. But then the next thing we see, the chocolate factory itself, and who do we see? Motherfucking Ethan Rain is back. Not seen him since season 2. And Ethan Rain, my favorite chaos worshiping black magic friend of Giles, is back into the fray. As soon as he popped up on screen, I got excited.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I got to steal that clip.
So much screaming so early in the morning.
You're fine. You're fine. Just give the kids some NyQuil and put them back to bed. But apparently, so the subcontractor that Mr. Trick had pulled in for this thing, and I love the fact that it's slowly revealed like what's actually happening. Like, we know it's something to do with the candy. We know if Ethan Rain is involved, it's going to be some sort of magic spell. There's a tribute that needs to be done, but they're not spoon feeding it to us. Like they're giving it in like little doses, and and kind of making us go like, what the hell's going on here? And then we have study hall the next day. Another great line in this time from Cordelia, who says, "Where's Giles? He's late. I'm bored, and I'm not getting credit for it." You know, and some people have said on these rewatches I've seen from other people, other YouTubers, they said, you know, oh, you should have known something was wrong right away with Xander and Willow sitting next to each other and Buffy. And okay, you have to remember, Xander and Willow have been friends since they were fucking toddlers, and Buffy and Cordelia actually have a lot more in common. It would not be too out of pocket for Cordelia and Buffy to be like sitting as like study buddies or lab partners or whatever the hell. I don't even know what it is they're doing. Study hall. I don't know what study hall is in this universe, but in the real world, when you go to study hall, it's just like the library, and it's like a one of your periods out of the day to work on, like, catch up on homework and catch up on studying or something like that. And for this, I would assume SATs. And then we see something else is wrong. Frickin' Snyder's devouring candy, and so is Mrs. Barton. And he's telling Miss Barton, English librarian didn't show up. You're in charge of study hall. Miss Barton comes in and she starts being really super chill. And, you know, Xander says, you know, who wants to marry Miss Barton? And, Cordelia's like, yeah, get in line. Totes, you know, she's being awesome. So yeah, we are slowly seeing like what is actually happening here. So Buffy is kind of intrigued, like, why didn't Giles? This is not like Giles. So she pops by his apartment, or his flat, as you would call it, and who's there? Fucking mom is there, and they're acting weird as fuck. And Buffy is kind of not digging it, and it's making her spider sense tingle. But then when mom offers her the keys of the car, she's just like, oh, and in another great line, you don't have to tell me twice. Oh, wait, you just did. But anyway, bye. So that was a cool little line, and Buffy takes off. And then now we really know something's wrong, because Joyce says, do you think she noticed anything? Pulls out a bottle of wine in the motherfucking afternoon, and Giles starts smoking, and his Cockney accent starts popping up. So now it's like really like, okay, something is fucking rotten in Denmark here. Something's happening. But yeah, we get the next thing is we get Buffy being a bad driver, driving with the parking brake on and ducking her entire head down below her sight line just to change the radio station. But yeah, so I mean, haha, Buffy's a bad driver. It's hilarious. Willow doesn't trust her. More hilarious. Back to Giles and Joyce, and they're hanging at his apartment. He's playing the Tales of the Mighty Ulysses on his record machine. She's being the cool schoolgirl that has a crush on an even cooler bad boy, because, as I've said on many other streams, women like bad boys, and that's exactly what Ripper is. And now he is totally devolved, that's the word I was looking for, into the Cockney accent. So everybody, starting with Susan, what is your thoughts on Ripper Cockney accent guy Anthony Stewart Head's playing here?
Oh, I think it's brilliant. It's just so different and unexpected from Giles, and it's just fun, really fun to watch. I like it.
Yeah. What about you, Critter?
I always enjoy when a character, whether it's they're possessed or they're cloned or they're drugged, does a 180 and they're completely different. Like, all guard is down. So this, along with many other shows that have done it, this is a very fun episode where all these different characters are completely unhinged or super chill and loose and not themselves.
Plus the fact that it's already been pre-established that we know that this is what Ripper Giles was like as a teenager.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like fulfilling a prophecy, so to speak.
And even appearance wise, like his shirt's undone, he's not wearing his tie anymore, and he's actually smiling. So.
Yeah. Northern, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, he really sells it, because it kind of shows just how far he had really come from that persona he used to have as a young lad. And I always kind of imagine that Giles did come from a middle class background, but then went all Cockney, went to fucking college and started hanging out with all these like weird cultists before, because I've noticed a lot of middle class teenagers end up doing that. And but he's kind of like has learned his lesson, has gotten better since then. And this shows just how far he's come from this stupid teenager, and now Now he has to, and now he's taking this chocolate bar that's turned him back into that.
Yeah, no, it's a great, and Anthony Stewart Head just masterful performance with what it is that he's doing.
It feels
really
consistent as well. It doesn't feel totally out of character to him at the same time, even though it's different.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Then we, for whatever reason, Buffy decided, yeah, I got SATs tomorrow, but since I got the car, let's go to the Bronze. They go to the Bronze, and every motherfucking adult in the town is there, including their teachers and the principal. And we get the funny little line from Miss Barton. Willow, you're a little tree. I want to get me some nachos, little tree. And the kids are just like, what in the hell is going on? And to cap it all off, we get Snyder pulling up on him and just being a total dork, but still trying to like ingratiate himself into the group. Like, hey kids, where's the cool parties at?
You get some context into what kind of a teenager he was. He wasn't the cool kid he wanted to be, but ended up just still being the fucking dork no matter what.
Yeah, fact. So we're at the candy warehouse, and it's bumping. Ethan and Mr. Trick are having their "ooh, aren't we evil" plans things going on, and I'm guessing that they are doing warehouse work in the bad part of Sunnydale by the looks of these workers here. They're in I guess there's an MLK Street on in Sunnydale, and that's where the factory is placed. I don't know yet. I don't know for sure. Mr. Trick pulls up on one of the guys and pulls a black on black crime and snaps this dude's neck because he says, hey, don't be eating the candy. And you can see, I think it's interesting that Ethan doesn't like it. Ethan is like, he's a chaos guy, and if people die or get injured during one of his spells, it is what it is, but he's not like a murderer per se, like he wouldn't, like, he doesn't want to get his hands dirty in that way. So and we get a great line from Mr. Trick, again keeping up with the great dialogue, because he asks him, Ethan asks him, well, how did you know that guy was stealing the candy? And he's like, I don't, but now I know no one will. So it's like, okay, that's brutal, but okay. And we got the older generations up there singing Louie Louie, more cringe stuff. The kids are not buying it. And as they get ready to head out to try to figure out what's going on, there's a close-up of a couple by the pinball machines sharing some more fucking chocolate. Which gives Buffy an idea. We see a couple of road racers. These guys are racing the slowest ass family cars in existence, like a Volkswagen and like a Nissan Sentra. They're like racing.
This is the vehicle's top speed.
Yeah.
Faster than this.
Oh my god, like that, like I don't even know. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's because it's funny. And then we get to the really good stuff. We get Ripper and Joyce. Joyce is just so effing in love with Giles. It makes me think that the real Joyce sort of had a bit of a crush on Giles anyways. I feel like that was a thing, but proving once again that women, no matter how wound tight, will love a bad boy. She's looking at some clothes that she likes, and Ripper just decides, well, I'm going to smash a trash can through the glass and jump in there and grab her what she wants. I love that Joyce says,
"You're so brave."
That was so brave. Like that was like, like, dude, what are you? Joyce, you're such a I could bet you Joyce was not popular in high school. Like Joyce was probably just like hanging out. I mean, she was probably hot because I mean, the Joyce is.
Yeah, I'm thinking Joyce, irresponsible Joyce, to be honest. Yeah,
I'm really digging irresponsible Joyce, and I love the fact that she's latched onto Giles and his toxic behavior, so to speak. And then of course a cop pulls up on him. Fucking Giles, man. Oh, cop was gun. Question for my UK friends: how did Giles know that it was a gun? Like from
we've seen the movies.
In movies. Okay, right. Okay, yeah.
It's from a time when guns were actually a bit more regular in England as well. So before the government tricked us into thinking that we don't need them.
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, we're
The
not following.
historical documents showed them when they watched repeats of T.J. Hooker.
Gotcha. Well, Giles does a pretty good job of, I mean, even though this cop's clearly over the hill, but Giles does a pretty good job of manhandling him and looking like a psychopath while he does it, which, boy, I'll tell you what, Joyce dampens quickly over this, and wackiness ensues on top of a police car. And
They
we'll
gave
find
that
out.
car a new wax job, they really did.
Oh, facts. Facts. Definitely left some DNA on the hood of that car. Now, apparently, we find out later in the Earshot episode where Buffy can read minds. That I can't wait to get to that episode. That apparently they did twice on the car, which good job, Ripper. All right, buddy. Makes sense why he was so winded later when he's chasing down Ethan. But yeah, Buffy's looking around and she's putting it together. She's like, all right, none of the monsters are feeding on these people, but all of these people are out chilling out in Sunnydale and not in their homes where they're safe. And she, puts it to Snyder and just says, hey, this chocolate, where'd it come from? He gives up the information pretty quickly. They go in. Buffy walks by this old couple making out. So she's like, gross. Turns around, realizes it's Joyce, and jumps in the middle of them. And then, we get a little Ripper. Just, you sod off. You're more bloody slayer, aren't you? And then I like that Joyce kind of claps at Buffy too. Like, you get to be a slayer and I can't say nothing about it. So whatever. And Buffy tries to kind of win her back to adulthood by showing her the car, and all they do is laugh about the fact that it's the car. Buffy gives it up and decides to take out the guards at the front. Giles decides to go with her after a little bit of back and forth. And once they get inside there, they realize how big the operation is, and they find Ethan. I like it. Ethan is such a weasel. Like, he's just like, he's not trying, you know what I mean? There's no exposition. He's just like, hey, better hurry up with your thing. I'm going to try to run away. I love, and I love the fact that, so we know what the spell is pretty much now. And we know that Ethan knows what it is. So Ethan is really like probably more afraid of Giles than he is of Buffy, really.
Yeah.
Because he's probably got a pretty good idea that Giles, and not even knowing that he's armed, but probably has a pretty good idea that, this Ripper is not the person he really wants to go up against. So he hauls ass. They go to chase him. Back in research land, Cordy asks Willow if she wants to swap. And, she takes that the wrong way. Again, just fucking crackling dialogue. Back to the warehouse. This is actually Giles doing this. So not too bad. I wonder how many takes he had to do doing that. But and then they find Buffy. Another great line from Buffy, look, a box of farm fresh chicken. How the hell he got in that box so quick is fucking
It is the Ace Ventura method.
Okay. But yeah, no, and Giles is being very immature, as he'll do, and just keeps saying, hey, you're more sodden slayer, punch him in his sucker, and she doesn't at first, but then when Ethan doesn't give him money, she does give him 5 across the eyes. And I love Giles' little jumping up and down going, yes, like when he beats him up. It's pretty funny. Look at that face. Giles looks crazy as fuck right here. Giles, you look like a sociopath right here, man. Does he have an earring in his ear?
Yeah, he does.
Oh my god! I didn't even
catch that.
I love the cigarette bands on his shirt as well. It's like,
yeah.
How many fags has he smoked that day for that to happen?
Did he and the jeans and the boots things? Did he just have the back of his closet?
Sentimental reasons, I don't know, to remind him not to be that person, but it's kind of gone tits up because the fucking chocolate bars have caused him this way. I don't know.
Yeah. So the actual evil is revealed that the tribute has to be babies. I guess specifically 4, because they sent in 4 vampires to grab 4 babies, and because the candy is making everybody immature, the usual security measures and people at the front desk is no one's minding the store. And these babies, I would assume, are going to be eaten by the snake monster demon down in the sewers. Apparently, the spell It's a pretty liberal spell because they do take one black baby as well. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, even demons have to tick those boxes.
Sure. Yeah. Buffy gets some of this exposition, and she's working with Willow to figure out what's going on. Ethan wants to take this opportunity to cold cock Buffy with a fucking crowbar that is literally sitting within arm's length of him. So that was pretty sloppy of him. And Giles pulls up with that heater. He pulls the heater out and puts it up in Ethan's neck. And strangely enough, Buffy's like, "Give it to me." It's like, okay, well, I guess. I mean, I feel like Giles could have used it more than she could, and they've got to go save the day, but they can't let Ethan be running around, so they got to tie him up. And Joyce has some handcuffs. Gee, I wonder where she got those from. They get to the hospital just a bit too late because the babies are already gone. And we actually get to see a little bit of serious side of teenage Ripper Giles, because he's just like, he wants to help Buffy out. He's like, let's go find the bad guys and kick the crap out of them. That's what we ought to do.
Yeah.
They figure out a location. The mayor's down there with Mr. Trick. When things go sideways, the mayor does abscond pretty quickly, but Mr. Trick decides to hang out. Buffy takes on fucking 3 of them at once. Giles does help out a little and does pretty good. And the demon comes out, eats one of the vampires, or at least kills him in some kind of way. And Buffy decides to take a huge pipe full of gas and turn it into a makeshift flamethrower and burn the thing to death. So, yeah. And then we get the aftermath of it. And Mr. Trick tries to put a good spin on it by saying, hey, now you don't have to worship this particular demon anymore. I did you a favor. And we get a pretty malicious, be careful how many favors you do for me. So, and I love the next day, the awkwardness between Joyce and Giles now that the spell is worn off. And I love your car seems to have an adventure. Anytime I see somebody with damage to their car, even to this day, I always say that. I always say, your car's had an adventure. But this is some fucked up shit. Joyce is making her pay for it. Buffy says, Buffy told me that it happened in fighting evil, so I'm letting her pay it off with her allowance. You're letting her, Joyce, you gave her the car. Dude, what the hell is this? You didn't sneak that by me, Joyce. No good. And of course, a little reminder of what transpired. How great would it have been if Joyce had to get like Plan B or something because Giles knocked her up during that thing? And that's where Dawn came from. But I don't want to read too much ahead. Anyway, so yeah, that's band candy right there. So we're not doing the rating system because these are all bangers. But what do you guys? Let's go in order. Sue is still second in the queue. Sue, what's your thoughts on this episode overall? You like it? Don't like it?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite. Always been one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite of this season or favorite of like all time?
Oh, all time.
Really?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it just makes me happy. It's one of it just cheers me up.
I hear you. It's a candy episode, and not only in the spirit. Critter, what about you? And what's our Critter moving forward? Will be keeping our Giles knockout count. So as of this episode,
I think we're still at 12.
I think we're 11. I think is what we established.
Oh, I'm thinking of one more episode. Yeah, it would be 12. Love the episode, a lot of fun. And I will say this, everyone the next day the spell wore off, but they still have memories. But Giles isn't arrested for assault and stealing a firearm and smashing a window. And so, like everyone else, like, oh, they, sharing chocolate with a coworker and smooching or whatever, or being a little silly. But the next day it's worn off. Like, what, the cop just doesn't go any further to find the guy that beat the crap out of him and took his sidearm?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they didn't have DNA evidence. Am I right?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah, good catch there. So our knockout count as of this episode, Giles did not get knocked out in this episode, so our knockout count remains at 11. So for anyone who's keeping score, we'll see how long it stays that way. Probably not very long.
No.
Anyway, Northern, gimme. What you got?
I do like like, even though it's a candy episode and it's more than a more funny episode, it does give a lot of context to the other side characters, especially Snyder. We've already seen him being this really, really bitter stick in the mud, and we kind of get a more insight into why he is the way he is, you know. And we get the same a little bit more with we see a little bit more of the Ripper side of Giles, which I liked, and that maybe Joyce wasn't always the the stricter mother who, can't have no fun. No, she was an irresponsible child herself in a way, and they actually got a good chemistry here in Giles. I'm surprised they didn't sort of like try and get them more together, and Giles ends up being a proper father figure.
I was really surprised that nothing ever happened with that. I was very but you know what? In a way, I'm kind of glad. In a way, I'm kind of glad that never kind of transpired like that. I'm actually kind of happy about that.
And it is the first time we see the mayor actually getting involved in something a little bit diabolical. And I just love the fact that he still acts like a mayor. He still acts like a professional when this ritual is going on. He's calling like bloody maintenance, just to get some things fixed up. And so he's dedicated to his job.
We need to get we need to get some stuff looked at down here. Yada yada yada. Yeah, no, bet. So let's slide right into Buffy. I have been limiting the Buffy promos. They're all over. There's you can get a promo for almost every single one of the episodes, all 144 or whatever it is. But because Disney decided to crawl up my asshole on that one episode, and I had to redo the fucking thing. I'm gonna go light on them now and just play them for significant ones, but I can't think of anything more significant than a season 7 episode. So hey, Susan, is that you chewing gum or something? What's going on over there?
No, I'm making coffee.
Okay. do me a favor, mute your mic when you're doing too much.
Sorry, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. No big deal. Anyway.
Love finally revealed.
We know Angel is alive.
You're harboring a vicious killer.
But he's better now.
Her friends will never forgive the pain he's caused.
I'm gonna kill Angel.
Can I come?
An all-new Buffy.
All right. So yeah, the next one is episode 7, Revelations. And exactly what the title suggested it is. So a little housekeeping here. And I'm just going to say this now. I don't like the revisionist history bullshit of, Xander being looked at as like a kind of straw man for people's hatred for Joss Whedon, which, by the way, that's bullshit as well. And I'll die on that hill. But I don't care for that. And I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate in the fandom. However, that being said, he's a total cunt in this episode. Like, he's an irredeemable cunt totally in this episode. They do not soften it whatsoever. He is just unabashedly a complete and utter piece of shit in this episode.
In previous episodes, he was just kind of being a doofus or maybe a faux pas, foot and mouth. But here, he's just flat out, yeah, you're right, douche nozzle. It's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've already got context into why he's a little bit skeptical of Angel coming back, but Jesus Christ, there was a way he could have done this without coming across as a fucking weasel. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's really bad in this episode. Anyway, hang on, guys. I got to pause it for just 1 second. The listening audience, you're not even going to know the difference. So we open Revelations. Oh yeah, we're back, but you didn't notice the difference, listening audience. We find the kids are at the Bronze and pretty freaking packed house. Not only that, we're seeing more and more evidence of Xander and Willow's bullshit. And they're kind of like overcompensating like for everything, and Cordelia and Oz really aren't picking it up, which, I mean, Cordelia being so self-involved, I don't really have a problem with that, but Oz seems like he would have kind of caught on to something. Plus, doesn't he have a werewolf sense? He uses it in later episodes. He can't smell Xander on her.
I mean, forget his werewolf powers and her being, self-centered. It really is comical how they're both behaving. Like I know it's a vampire show, but like it's more like it's literally sitcom. These two.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick. I totally forgot. The last episode, one of the great lines, I had it written down, but I skimmed over it. Snyder gets a really good line when they went to go fight the demon. He was like, yeah, you guys go do that down in the sewers, and I'll just wait here in case the babies find their way back. It was such, man, that episode's so well written. Anyway, sorry about that.
Snyder has some good lines in that episode. I like the fact that he's more annoying when he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
I do.
You almost feel bad for him a little bit, but you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Oh, yeah,
But yeah,
you do.
the gang is being weird. Luckily for them, they have something to distract themselves with, is gossip on Buffy, because Buffy's not been around quite as much as she usually is, and Buffy pops in, and you know, I like the fact that Oz is just Oz and Cordelia are being honest, whereas Willow and Xander are being somewhat cagey and deceptive with the whole thing. So hang on one second. All right. And you know, they just Oz and Cordelia just come straight out and ask her. There's like, what's going on? You got a dude or something? Like, what's happening? And you know, Buffy's being cute, because of course she's going to be. And yeah, I'm seeing somebody not super regular, nothing like that. And then Faith rocks up. Got a motor babe, and I like it. I like their thing here. It makes me sad for what happens later in the episode. That's sort of a long-lasting bullshit thing. I don't like that. Because I do like their thing when they're getting along. I think I mean, I know it gets fixed later and then wrecked later again and then fixed later again, but I mean, I just wish they could just stay friends and, you know, be cute together or whatever. Also, oh, we lost Susan. I don't know what happened. Also, you know, they're even fighting in sync with each other. It's only been like, I don't know where the story is, and as far as like timeline or whatever, I don't think it's been more than a couple months at the most. And you know, they're already like synchronized slang, as Faith points out, and doing a pretty good job of it too, to the point where like Giles is kind of like reading his book and drinking his tea and not even paying attention. And yeah, they're killing it. And then as soon as they dust these guys, Gwendolyn Post rocks up. Listen, dude, this chick right away knew something was wrong. Like immediately knew that something was wrong with this chick. You guys, Critter, I guess Susan's out for the count. I don't know what's going on, but what was your thoughts when you first watch it? Did you know?
No. I was very stupid. You know, on hindsight, introducing a new character in the beginning of an episode, and clearly they will either become evil or get killed, or you know, say goodbye at the end of the episode. So no, I completely missed it. It wasn't clued in at all. It's like, oh, here comes a new helper. You know, like there you go.
Well, just the fact that she right away tries to put everybody on the back foot by saying it was slop, when it clearly wasn't. It was clearly like amazing, actually. And she's like, oh, you know, that was sloppy, and the way that you executed that, and blah, 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 and all this bullshit. And I'm like, dude, stop. You're doing too much right away, lady. Northern, what about you?
Yeah, I didn't like her. Didn't like the look of her. Didn't like her condescending attitude. And I was hoping that maybe she would end up being found, discovering that she might not be as bad. She just has a reason to, but no, she ends up being a piece of shit. And I was glad she was a piece of shit. And the actress does a very good job of it as well.
Yeah, yes, she does. Back to the library. Fucking Buffy's like Buffy's knit cap is so cute. It's just the bomb on it. So adorable, Buffy. Good for you, sweetheart.
You should try to sort of like out cool Faith a little bit.
I don't know, but if she is trying, she's doing it. Faith more like, I'm not down with this bullshit. Like I don't like this. You know, Buffy a little worried, Faith more like a little perturbed and pissed off. And then we get more sexy Tai Chi with Buffy and fucking Angel. Like, dude, come on, man. This is gross. This is really kind of gross. It's not as gross as Willow and Xander, but this is just like, come on, you guys. You know, Buffy trying to take the high road, and it's like, I'm not so sure you got a leg to stand on here, Buffy, with your bullshit. You know, I don't think anybody's buying your bullshit, as far as that goes, but whatever. Giles feeling the pressure of Gwendolyn Post coming in because supposedly she's going to, you know, be reviewing his performance while taking over for Faith. Now, the taking over for Faith thing makes sense. Each Slayer should have a watcher, so I get that. But what I don't get is who the fuck would she be to take a look at Giles? And listen, spoilers, but okay, so she's evil, clearly, and all of this is fixed with one fucking phone call. So you're telling me the secret organization of the Watchers Council that's in charge of the forces of light that fight the forces of darkness isn't important enough that Giles wouldn't make a effing phone call to just be like, you can't show up at Walmart and just start, demanding shit and acting a certain way. But you're gonna tell me she just rocked up to the Hellmouth and was just like, oh, I'm British, and yes, I'm a watcher, and yes, meh, meh, meh. And
well, it's that same thing with like, for the sake of the story, look at every Three's Company episode. A single line of explanation would avoid the whole point of the episode. So the same thing here. Like, yes, he could make a phone call, but then you would kind of ruin the story arc.
I mean, there's no way to write around that to like
yeah.
I mean, give me something, but
like she had like a forged scroll of some kind of like, here are my orders.
Yeah.
Spell to forge
like
these
a
orders.
Secret decoder ring that says
signet
that,
ring thing, the wax stamp, and then Willow could be like, wait a minute, this is a forgery.
Yeah. Tell him, Deadpool.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
It is lazy writing indeed. But anyway, so then we get fucking Xander and Willow. Xander rubbing her temples. I don't know what's worse. Buffy and Angel doing sexy Tai Chi when they know that they shouldn't, or Xander deciding that somehow while they're doing research, it's a good idea to rub her temples. Like, that's like, you guys are already screwing around and doing shit you're not supposed to be doing. But you think that this is okay.
And that goes back to your point about him being a scumbag. Like, if you really cared about your girlfriend and your friends and her relationship, you don't even offer to rub her temples. You scooch a little bit further away.
I mean, I guess they make it up a little bit with the fact that after that happens, Willow jumps him, but it doesn't make me feel super great. Buffy and Faith are out on patrol, and Faith's giving Buffy the rundown on all her bad exes and all the thing. She's got like a whole fucking laundry list of apparently Faith has made some poor choices, and apparently she has been pounded more than the beaches at Normandy. So but yeah. Buffy's not willing to give up the information. She's holding that a little tighter, just like her virtue. And so Faith goes out on her own. And of course, the last place that gets checked is, of course, the place that it is. And there's Lagos with his axe, and he's looking for his glove, apparently. Faith runs in, and this is important later, so pay attention. Faith runs in, looks like she's got some good tactics, but I mean, summarily gets the living dog shit beat out of her by this guy. He just throws her around like a rag doll, just showing her inexperience as a Slayer and her rushing into stuff that she shouldn't do. Xander, feeling guilty about the fact that he's messing around with Willow, decides that he's going to go try to look up a lead about Lagos. The fact that Giles let him do it also is weird, but whatever. He sees Angel walking with presumably the glove, all alive and shit. Xander actually has a stake with him. Shock and fucking awe. Crazy. And he follows Angel back to the mansion where he finds him and Buffy getting it on. Obviously, that's not a good thing. The good news is Angel actually is good, and he found the glove. So that's a good thing. He gives some exposition to Buffy, telling her to be careful, not engage with the glove, because once it's on, it can never be off until the person is dead. Remember that, because it's going to be important later. And then I like this little cut scene where we go from them physically looking at the glove to the glove in the Watcher's book, being examined by Giles and fucking cunt face post here. And I like that her fucking smarmy little bullshit. Hey, the pictures are nice, Mr. Giles, but one must read the words as well. I'd have been like, bitch, I've been the watcher of the actual Slayer for 3 years. Back the fuck off. seriously, like I've been like, and also this is also kind of dumb too, because if she's pulling double agent evil shit, wouldn't it make more sense for her to kind of suck up to Giles or be nice to him in some kind of way or ingratiate herself instead of like, because at this point, any reasonable person, even if she was on the up and up, is probably looking for a reason to get her fired or get her ass out of there. So she's really drawing a lot of unwanted attention. What is you guys' thoughts on that? Is that just bad writing, or is there something I'm not seeing in the plot?
I don't know as far as bad writing, but like it is a weird approach. Unless it's like, I'll just be such a jackass. And, because there are people who are, your coworkers or an ex-boss is a complete jackass. And it's like, well, she's going to be just so extremely annoying that she'll blend in. Her stealth mode is like, oh, this asshole, here she comes with the demands and the snark.
Yeah, maybe. What's your thoughts, Northern?
Well, Charles has already kind of hinted that he feels a little bit more inferior amongst most of the other watchers. Even when Faith mentioned about some watchers party thing going on, and Giles wasn't notified, even though it turned out to be fake. And he probably, I think it might be come to the point where he knows the watchers and he knows just how fucking condescending and pompous they are, and she's doing a very good job of coming across really, really condescending and pompous. So I think that's why he doesn't question it so much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could headcanon like she's just it helps her to keep him on the back foot, but it just seems like a weird strategy to use to me.
Well, yeah,
it could be you're acting way too nice. I don't think you're a watcher.
Well, yeah, also keeping everyone on their toes because she's just always like so snarky and snippy, I guess.
That's just lazy writing.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it, so it is what it is. All right. Next set of slides is 4. Are we on 4 already? Are we on 3 or 4? Nope, that's not right. Sorry. Disregard that. Little technical difficulties there, my friends. And but I guess we're on 3. 3 is there. Okay, Buffy shows up at the school, presumably with good news, and they're all seated there in an intervention type situation. And Giles gives the whole, we know Angel is alive and we know you've been hiding it from us. This is weird also. Sidestepping Xander and his bullshit for a second. This is odd because it's like they know, specifically Willow and Giles know that the spell worked and he got his soul back. So why is he and Willow talking like this? And I'm assuming they shared this information with Xander and Oz. Why wouldn't they? So why what is the deal here? I don't get it. Like, why are they saying like they're acting like Angelus is back? It's not Angelus, it's Angel. Is there an explanation for this other than just like concocted drama?
It could be a mixture of both, to be honest. But then again, I think there's still I think the memory of losing Miss Calendar probably is still kind of prevalent to them a little bit as well. The pain is still there in a way.
Let me push back on that a little bit. Giles says you're harboring a known murderer, but he's not a known murderer. He's Angel. She's not hiding Angelus. And even Angelus in season 2 is like, when he turned and Buffy tried to appeal to him, he's like, you're barking up the wrong tree. Your boyfriend's dead. Like Angel's not in charge anymore. He's gone. I'm running the show now. So if you understand that logic, which I'm presuming they all understand that, I mean, why wouldn't they? And they know that he got his soul back. Why are they acting like this? This is weird. Now, if it was a response to like, okay, yeah, we get it. It's Angel, but you guys were fucking around, which seems to be what Oz is saying. Oz is like, but you were kissing him. And, that seems to be like, okay, listen, we get it. He's Angel, but we know that if y'all fuck, he's going to lose his soul and turn evil and start killing us again. So if that was the thing, but that's not clearly stated. Oz is like the only one that mentions it. So I don't know. Critter, what's your thoughts on this? You got any?
No, I just I guess it's just for drama. I mean the characters themselves could have this back and forth, and they don't. And basically he was cured, and he's different now. I don't know. It almost feels like the choice to keep it hidden maybe was a bad idea, but at the same time, you could understand why some of these folks are like, yeah, what the hell, he came back and
Yeah.
you didn't tell us. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a big
Well,
trust issue there too.
sure. Well, Xander's popping off left, right, and center. Like, fuck, man, he's really got his shit cranked up to 11. And Cordelia strangely backing him up on a lot of these points. Maybe not undeservedly so, but god damn, dude, he's just, what if you give him a happy again? What if you you'd stop him if he'd try to hurt us, just like you stopped him when he killed Mrs. Calendar. Like,
yeah, I wanted to stop him when he said that.
I'm like, dude, you are doing too much.
Teach you some manners.
Shut up, baby dick.
The hell's that from?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the saddest TV deaths ever.
Yeah. But yeah, he goes and goes and goes and goes, and he doesn't stop. Giles tries to interject a little bit, but again, even Giles' argument doesn't really work for me. And Buffy, now see, here's the thing. Buffy doesn't make it any better because she doesn't take accountability of her shit. Because at the end of the day, superhero or not, Buffy's a woman and accountability is kryptonite. They don't know how to fucking take any accountability. She kind of stutters but I mean, she's why were you spying on me? Bitch, that ain't the point. Why was I spying on you? That come on now. Like, seriously. I mean, but it is realistic. I'll give it that. That's very, very realistic of how the conversation would probably actually go. Anyway, so it devolves into a bunch of bullshit. And I do have a clip, actually. I do have it, like a legitimate clip, actually, not even like a funny bullshit clip. Giles, he realizes this shit ain't working. Her friends just yelling at her isn't gonna accomplish anything. So he kind of shuts it all down, and Buffy sees that as kind of a peace offering. But she's wrong, because Giles gives her the one thing that no one ever wants to hear from a parental figure.
I know this is a lot to absorb. But Angel did find the glove, and that was a good...
Do not block us.
I won't remind you that the fate of the world...
This is a great scene from Anthony Head here. This is, obviously this is a screenshot thing, and it's not as good. I could not find a YouTube clip from this. Although, yes, I did, because that's what it really is. No, it's not. But anyway, you know what it is. So, he just says, hey, Angel tortured me. He did it for hours. But again, it was Angelus, not Angel. But his point is the same.
You have no respect for me.
And I'll just
kind of make the point that he's still kind of like, let's not forget, he's very traumatized by this as well. And even when he looks at Angel, he's still going to see Angelus, maybe.
Well, he can't separate. I mean, like, can't separate the two. Because he's been tortured. So it's like, yeah, even though in his heart he's a good guy now, whatever. You can't, with that trauma, you cannot separate the two from each other, because it's the same looking guy. Is it the Angel is?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the killer wearing Angel's face, or vice versa.
Yeah, because Angelus is still in there, isn't he? He's still in there. He's still got that demon. It's just his soul is like taken over now.
Another good point. Yeah, that deep down side, there's still that creature within him as well.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that, and it is established later in Angel. Angel does some pretty dark shit as Angel. He doesn't have to even turn. He does some pretty fucking dark shit throughout the entirety of his show. And there's times when he's like, I miss that clarity of being evil and, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, we'll have many, many, many more conversations about that, especially once next season rolls around and we start doing Buffy in tandem with Angel, and we'll talk more and more about that. But yeah, all good points, excellent points on everybody. Susan, great points too. Oh wait, you're not here, so okay, cool. Anyway, so we go to Faith. She's in the Fleabag Motel, and fucking Gwendolyn, man, just so clearly trying to gaslight and manipulate Faith. And on top of that, she tries to come up with like a good reason that the Watchers Council can't put her in a Hojo's or a fucking Holiday Inn Express or a Jet 2 holiday place or something like that. You know what I mean? She's trying to justify the fact that she lives there because that's how the Spartans would live if they were around. Bitch, it's $17 a day. Like, you guys could, like, it's ridiculous, the shit that they're doing. But again, I mean, she's not a real watcher either. So, I mean, I guess there's that. But she tries to ingratiate herself to Faith, and pretty good amount of success. And in the amount of ingratiating, we have Buffy. The first person she goes to is Willow, figuring rightly so that Willow would be the most sympathetic, but not for the reasons she thinks. And, Willow is indeed sympathetic. Xander is not, and strangely not hanging out with Cordelia, but instead Faith comes sniffing around. And fucking Xander again. Oh my God, dude. With the whole giving a piece of the story just enough to get Faith keyed up here. This is crazy that he's never called out on this shit. It's almost criminal. If everyone's problem with Xander, who has a problem with him, is because of this episode, I'm kind of forgiving of it because he is so fucking out of pocket here. And on top of that, like, he's horny at the idea of getting to kill Angel with her. Like, oh, can I come? Like, oh, dude. Fucking cringy, man. And finally we get Gwendolyn Post fucking revealed, finally. What does this do? This raises our counter, right? Knockout
now we're
count.
at 12, right?
Now we're at 12. And not only she knock him out, like, she hurts him bad. Like, I guarantee you, he of the like 12 languages he speaks, I bet he lost at least 2 of them. This knockout one. Willow decides to go with Buffy on her retribution. Let me go kill this demon guy. Probably because she feels bad and she wants to unburden herself. And I love the cute little scene where she's like, I want to be the first to tell you there's a demon behind you. It's this guy, and Buffy takes him on. She kind of starts to have the same amount of trouble that Faith was having, which I think is interesting, but it shows the difference between the two styles because she actually does overcome. Because she improvises because she's basically better at the job. I mean, I'll just be blunt than Faith is, at least at this point in the narrative. And she does wind up, cutting off his head. I love Willow's the camera going to Willow, and Willow's kind of like cheering her on, but like scared at the same time. And then when Buffy chops the dude's head off, she's not even perturbed. She's like, yes, good job, buddy. And then of course the moment has passed, so she doesn't tell Buffy what's really going on. So that's unfortunate. And then we got Xander and fucking Faith. I'm not even mad at Faith for this. This isn't Faith's fault. This is Xander. Xander, you did all of this. You're really, oh God.
Because he has such a hateful boner for Angel just because he stole Buffy from him when he had a crush on her.
If Giles wasn't visibly on the floor and loudly moaning, he'd have been off with her to go fucking kill Angel for sure. Angel,
a very slight redemption there in that one moment. He says, like, because of the head wound, he could die.
Super slight. Yeah, I hear you.
It's a little bit
super slight. Yeah, very small.
No, because you're right. If he wasn't injured, let's say she tied him up, got a sock in his mouth. Oh, you got to go stop him. Then he would definitely rush off to kill Angel. But I think because there's a little bit of niceness in there in this moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so they figured out that what they've got to do is create a spell of some kind of holy dragon fire or some shit where they can destroy the glove because it can't be trusted because it's so powerful. But I'm not so sure that it is that powerful, but we'll get to that. Angel seemingly accomplishes it, and then we're back to the library. Giles is he's delirious. He's been hurt really, really bad. Buffy is upset, so is Willow. Xander is kind of in shock a little bit, but not in shock enough to just give up the information to Buffy that he's keyed Faith up and she's got a 10-minute head start. Back to the mansion, Gwendolyn Post rocks up, and give him credit. Angel right away is just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I trust this bitch. But he does turn his back on her, and she hits him with a fucking shovel.
And I always love the sound of a shovel in a cartoon or a movie. That kapong.
Bong.
Yeah.
Here's the other problem, though. Here's the other problem. This is crazy. So when he gets up and she realizes that he's superhuman, that he's a vampire, she takes it in stride. She's like, okay, well, cool. I'll just have to stake you. But she breaks the shovel. Dude,
over her knee.
Over her knee. Bitch, I couldn't do that. I could not break that.
That was kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of hot.
Dude,
but she has no, I mean, other than just being evil, she has no superpowers, right? She's a human.
No.
Yeah. So that makes no sense.
Yeah, no, just a lifetime of bangers and mash and cornmeal and fucking beans and franks and all that other terrible shit. So her bone structure ain't that great anyway. So how the hell she pulled that off? It's crazy. But
a wizard did it.
It's all the mead. All the mead.
All that mead. I also like that Angel, like, he goes at her. He doesn't really hold back. He's just like his hands are rated E for everybody, and he knocks the shit out of her. Unfortunately, of course, that's when Faith rocks up, and I do like the line, "I can't believe how bad I'm gonna kill you." And he doesn't know Faith at this point. Maybe it's not come up. I mean, I would presume it hasn't. Faith kind of gets the better of him, and she's just about to kill Angel, and Buffy at the last second comes in and stops the stake, which I thought was like, because if you guys had watched this in a first run, you'd know that that was one of the little TV clips that they played to make it look like Angel was about to be killed by Faith. But yeah, Buffy makes it just in time.
Get your hands off my man.
But she stops it, and I do like the ensuing stuff. So here we go. Let's see if we can get away with one more small one. We'll have to talk over it a little bit, but that's okay. That's what it's here for.
I can't let you do it, Faith.
You're confused, Twinkie. Let me clear you up.
I will say this. I think this the fight scene that comes up is really well done. Although
I mean, one bad
right, but I'm saying you can kind of see.
Oh no, you can listen. If you're making slides and you have to keep pausing it, you can fucking really see the stunt people.
Just watching it, like, it's very slight. You can catch them, but it's not as bad as like that William Shatner Star Trek one, from back.
Sure. No, facts.
But I thought this choreography and the cuts was a vast improvement, and I thought it was a really good fight scene.
No, I agree. I do not disagree, and it's our first Buffy versus Faith. I mean, there's been like a punch here and there, and they've probably sparred, I'd imagine, but this is the first one. I love Faith's line. It's so Boston. Let me clear you up, Twinkie. That's such a Boston thing to say. Buffy is she's kind of trying to de-escalate, but kind of not.
There's a lot that you don't understand. Faith, she doesn't know. She's blinded by love. Faith, no.
I'll teach you to be blinded by love.
We can figure this out.
Yeah. Whoa!
But yeah,
nice.
No,
it's fun.
You can definitely see, besides the stunt people, you can definitely see Buffy as the far superior. Like, she's been doing this longer. She's had the powers longer. I mean, they're going blow for blow, you have to assume that Faith, believing that she's in the right, is probably going all out. And Buffy is probably knowing that, Faith has been misled and it's still pretty much her friend. And she's probably trying to hold back a little bit.
Well, I was going to say maybe not hold back, because like they're not holding any weapons. So it's really more of a bludgeon each other to knock someone out or kick them in the gut to knock the wind out of them. So it's not like it's a knife fight between two friends.
No, true.
It's
Although
fisticuffs.
that does happen though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a long running Faith versus Buffy thing, and I'm here for it all day. And this is the first one of many. And again, Buffy cheats as you do. Again, showing that Buffy has the far better skills. It may look like, I wish we had somebody like Dark Hour, but unfortunately he's way too famous for us. But to tell me what all these different martial arts moves and shit are, because I'm more like shooting people than, and if it devolves to where I have to get hands to hand, I'm just gonna kick your knee out from under you and then fucking headbutt you and stomp you when you're on the ground. I don't know.
I would assume somewhere on IMDb gives you who the fight coordinator or stunt
Oh,
coordinator
sure.
is for the
Sure,
show.
sure, sure.
So.
Yeah, I think the big guy is Ray Amata, I think, is the big one that works with Buffy and Angel and a lot of other TV shows. So that's probably what this is. But yeah, it's a great scene. A lot of good back and forth between the two of them. Neither one really yielding to the other one. I a little bit making you feel better about the situation with Xander is the fact that Xander runs in like a little fucking cuck boy and Faith just mollywops him and throws him across the fucking room. So yeah, I think that's probably all we're gonna be able to get away with. And in fact, I'll be shocked if we even fucking get away with that much, the way they've been up my ass or whatever. But anyway,
well, we talked a bit more, so I think we might just get away with it. Hopefully.
We may. Gwendolyn Post gets the glove, puts it on, and it go gadget fucking links into her arm. So this is the big all-powerful glove. Now, I'm not saying that a lightning bolt is not powerful. Certainly it is. Thor uses it to good measure and stuff like that. But I mean, is this glove, like, they were making this glove out to be like a world-ending device or whatever? So I don't know, like, maybe it made her invulnerable except at exactly where the glove goes into the arm. Like, if they had tried, I mean, I would have liked to have seen some other stuff besides her just chanting the Irish Gaelic, Rita or whatever the fuck for lightning.
Like the glove has more glowing and maybe some more red portal shit or yellow sparks
or something. Angel gets up just in time.
Force lightning.
Yeah,
it's Star Wars Force lightning.
Yeah, but only like in like short bursts.
Right.
Angel gets up in enough time to save Willow, and Buffy takes a big piece of shattered glass and uses that as like a shirk-on and chops the glove from her arm. And because of it, the power gets redirected into her and melts her alive. So I think it suffices to say that Angel is not getting his fucking deposit back on this mansion. Although later when we see the mansion, like in the next couple episodes, it's perfectly fine. So I don't know. They did a spell to clean it up or some shit. I don't know.
They probably hired some migrants to build it. I don't know.
Yikes.
And then drank their blood.
It is Southern California. So the next day at school, the kids are all sitting around and kind of discussing the events and blah, blah, blah. No apologies from Xander.
Xander is douche of the episode.
In fucking fact, Buffy, she doesn't apologize, but she gives him a, hey, are we cool? Are we cool? No, we are not cool. Xander, you're a douchebag. You need to he should have been down on his knees fucking begging for fucking forgiveness for this bullshit. But instead it's like made it seem like he was the one accepting the apology. And then oh, hey, I trust you. Okay, where the fuck was that trust before? Like, dude, and I do like the fact that Cordelia's like, I don't trust you, because that's something Cordy would say. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, at least she's consistent.
Yeah. Giles rocks up for, I definitely would have taken some sick days, Giles. It's crazy. Rocks up and just says, hey, oh yeah, she was there was a memo. We didn't get that memo from Initech.
The email was in my junk folder.
Right. And Buffy gives him the look that I pretty much think the whole audience does. She goes to try to mend fences with Faith. Faith with a big old chubby cheek from getting her fucking teeth knocked in. I'd like to think like maybe like her super slayer power helped her heal quicker, but like Buffy actually like broke her jaw. That'd be kind of interesting. And Buffy does try to mend fences, and Faith almost gets there, but doesn't quite. She can't quite do it. And I think Buffy knows it's fucked up. She walks away and she looks very troubled, like she knows that this didn't go well, and this is I'm certainly I know she can't predict what would happen later, but I know that you can see from her great Sarah Michelle Gellar's great acting, and you can see from that she's sad that this chick is like the only person in the world like me, and we should be friends, and it's not going like it should. This is someone who could actually understand me and be my friend, and in some ways, in a lot of ways, we've ruined it, and I think it's something to definitely be upset over.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she's definitely looks troubled. Anyway, let's remove that. So, Critter, go for it. Give me your thoughts.
Fun episode, loved it. I think not perfect, but I think the fight choreography and a kind of a different monster demon guy, and that MacGuffin device, the glove, was kind of a cool thing.
Any nitpicks on this episode?
You could armchair quarterback all of it, but no, I enjoyed it. I just think maybe such a drastic change in attitude of Xander into this episode was just kind of really, really weird. And I still have a problem with how they're doing the Willow Xander stuff. I think that's just like, yes, it's the writing, it's the characters have to do what they have to do, but my God, like a scumbag move on amongst a circle of friends to do that. So, but no, I thought the episode was fine. It was enjoyable.
Good. Northern, give it to me.
No, I do like this episode. I mean, even though Gwendolyn Post is just a horrible, unbearable person, the actress does do a very good job of almost making you come to see where she's coming from a little bit, but then you realize, okay, it's all part of her plan, and she does play a very good sort of like villain of the episode. And but yeah, Xander really is a piece of shit in this episode. I mean, I watched this like when I started to rewatch this, I must have rewatched this like 3 times in the past 5 years, and my opinion has not changed on Xander. He has acted this just like a complete weasel. I mean, Angel, there's a chance that he could be Angelus again, and we don't know what's happening here, and you kept it from us, okay, but you could have just talked to bloody Buffy and said, listen, I know about Angel, okay, I was just out getting some air, and I caught Angel, and I followed him, and then I saw you, and listen, what the hell is happening? Listen to Buffy, then maybe give her the chance to try and explain this to Giles later, but on her own. But no, God, you frustrated me, but it's still a good episode, all right? It's not weak.
Teach you some manners.
Shut up, baby Dick.
But I do like the contrast between Buffy and Faith, and Faith really has had a hard time as well, and Buffy is trying to reach out and be a friend to and be someone that she can actually trust for once, and not be so cynical towards, and actually, humanize her a little bit more. But as the fates they may, we all see what happens to Faith later.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's like watching the Anakin stuff start to kind of unfold.
Yeah, you were the chosen one.
I killed the women and the children.
I don't like sand. So yeah, no. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to do this for Critter. Here you go, Critter. Here's your time to shine, buddy.
We're at 12.
Knockout counter is at 12. I almost want to give him an extra one just because she really fucked his ass up.
Whack.
Yeah,
she got 2.
This was the Giles is definitely pissing funny for a while.
How long have I been knocked out for? 20 minutes. Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
Well, and also that little bandage on the side of his head. I mean, it should have been a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he should have been in like the fucking emergency room.
Yeah, that chunk of the stick he got whacked with was pretty hefty.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks guys. I do appreciate this. Probably just since the next one is pretty significant, it's Lover's Walk. Probably just do that one by itself. We'll feel it out. Just depends on how much feedback we get. Hopefully this one doesn't get fucked with, and if it does, I can probably figure out some way to work around it or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think it will. We've taken as many precautions as we possibly can, but I'm definitely excited for this. And for anyone watching, we will be doing a deep dive into all of the Halloween episodes, and we will be doing a deep dive into the Watchers, the patriarchal Watchers. Are they hinderment or are they helpful? And we'll be doing that right around the same time. I'm going to mispronounce this. The Crucimonthum episode where Buffy turns 18. Right around the time that episode happens, we'll be doing a deep dive into the Watchers, and what is the deal with the Watchers? Why are they so unhelpful, and or are they, or what is even the point of them for the most part? Because they don't seem to do much good to anybody, much less the Slayers in their charge if they happen to not like him. But yeah, that's about it. So, until next time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take a look at these gentlemen's channels. Their links to their channels will be in the description on this video, as they always are. And I would definitely take a look. They have some excellent content. And yeah, until next time, stay toxic, everybody.
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You are the Slayer. Into each generation, a Slayer is born.
Why don't we start with, hi, I'm Buffy.
Xander.
Cordelia. Willow, right?
Mr. Giles.
Angel.